Hey everybody, welcome back to No Ordinary Path. I'm John, this is Kristen. We are bringing you a Real Talk Friday today. We missed our Tuesday talk because we wanted to get another chance of me at the hospital to kind of see how things had changed since we had some time off between and how it's all coming at you. So if you're new here, welcome. We are a travel nurse family. I'm the nurse. We go around the country. We live inside of Windy, which is our 37-foot travel trailer. And we go all over the country. We bring our whole family with us. So it's the three of us, because I got the doggo here. And there's 3 kids back there in the bunkhouse asleep.
Just kind of wanted to give an update on how we are handling everything that's happening recently. Yes. We know that you all are having your own experience and ways that you are dealing with things as well, and we thought that it would be kind of nice to just update you on what life is like in the ICU.
Yep.
And what life is like in the RV with the children.
It's like, for those of you that are followed us for a while, just how we're doing too. I know some people have reached out and just want to know, which we are really, I mean, that is super thoughtful, you guys. Thank you. As Kristen mentioned, I am an ICU travel nurse. I've been an ICU critical care nurse for over 10 years, and nothing has come close to this yet, in terms of obviously how it's affecting our country as a whole, but also just how it's affecting the hospital. So I've got 3 points I'm going to highlight, basically like the whole, from my perspective, PPE frustrations, how the hospital is dealing with it, and then the pending loss of the beard. A moment of silence.
Sad. A moment of silence. This is a hard topic to talk about because he's still working there. We don't want to...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put the job that I have in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't... I'm not going to state, you know, how many COVID cases and stuff are where I work. Just know that they're everywhere. Like, if you work in a hospital, you have COVID patients, or you at least have patients that need testing for it that are pending. I don't want to violate any HIPAA laws, which are like the patient privacy laws. I have to kind of leave it at that. And even with like the discussion of what we're doing with the PPE, is kind of hard to talk about because it is such a hot topic. And I know that there's like different recommendations from the WHO or the CDC, and sometimes they contradict each other. And it seems like hospitals, not just ours, but hospitals have the tendency to follow one or follow the other, or they do their own thing that's very different. And there's so many nurses out there, and this is a frustration as a travel nurse. You know, it'll be interesting when it comes time to switch contracts, because I'm going to switch a contract basically right at the peak of this thing. So it'll be interesting to see going from one facility and you know, like hospital to another one in a totally different region of the country, and how they deal with it. And we'll be sure to update you on how that does go when it happens. But you know, I will say this, I feel like right now the way policies that they have in place are adequately protecting the nurses at my hospital that I'm working at currently. Let's talk about PPE. It's a hot topic. So this is like, for those of you that aren't medical related, this is like what the nursing, like, and it's not just nursing. I'm going to say that a lot, but this is anybody that's working in the hospital right now has to deal with this. From people that take up trays from the cafeteria, which is something I used to do a long time ago, to doctors and nurses and respiratory therapists, pharmacy, and all these different kinds of people that go in every day, because the hospital don't stop. There's no we stayed at home at the hospital. Here's what I am seeing. I can speak to this hospital right now, which is in, you know, Phoneix. Banner is one of the hospital systems here. They have several hospitals in the system. For us right now, I wouldn't say that there's a shortage per se, but there's definitely, you can feel that like we're close, or they're being really conservative and safe with it. I have seen people wearing masks all over the place. I have seen homemade masks. Their policy right now is that, you know, you can wear them if it makes you feel comfortable, but whenever you're in a patient room, you have to wear the right kind of stuff, which makes totally sense. It totally makes sense. There are, you know, regulations for how this stuff goes in and how you deal with it. And while it's still kind of scary and stuff, I feel like so far they're taking care of it. Now, that's not to say that I haven't been reached out to by other travel nurses or places where I have worked in the past, where it's a very different story. The nurses have, one of these N95 masks, which is basically like a particulate filter that can filter out viruses and stuff like that are really, really super tiny, and they have to wear it all day long. There are ways to kind of clean them in between and stuff like that, but it's still not ideal. It's not the way that they were supposed to be used, but because of how this is affecting our country, this is something we're dealing with. Yeah, now there are other hospitals and other places that I have heard about where it is just a show.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not there at those places, so I can't speak to them. I don't necessarily believe everything that I'm reading on Facebook, you guys, but I will say that there are nurses that I have talked to and texted and messaged back and forth where there is truly a shortage. Hospital is reaching out to people like in the community saying, hey, we don't have any of these. If you're hoarding some, please consider sending some to the healthcare providers because we don't have enough, kind of thing. Putting the mask in paper bags, coming back the next day to use the same one, and then doing it again for your third shift in a row, and sometimes fourth shift and fifth shift, that kind of thing. Let's talk about the beard since we're talking about masks. Technically speaking, these N95 masks that you wear and form a seal around your face can't be worn by men with facial hair. Or women with facial hair. But they have these things called cappers, which are this hooded thing that you wear that blows air into it so it creates a positive pressure, meaning that around your face and mouth there's a positive airflow, so it's pushing air out around the mask so that when you inhale, you're not sucking anything up into it. And I can wear those at this point in time with the facility that I work at. Now that being said, the beard is on its unfortunate, sad last couple of weeks. The reason I haven't already just shaved and gotten it over with is that at my facility, I only have 3 weeks left. And when you work for a hospital, you have to get fit tested because these N95s come in different sizes and they have to verify. I already know which one I would use, but for protocol and policy and documentation, the hospital system has to see that I've gone through the right kind of fit testing to prove that I'm okay to use that mask. And so I would have to do that at this facility. It's at a totally different hospital at another part of Phoenix, which would take a little while to get to. It's a lot of red tape to go through, where at this point in time they have something in place for me that will work. Cheers to all the other healthcare bros out there that are shaving for this. I know there's like Facebook movements and stuff like that. I will be joining you soon because honestly, there's people that can't wear them because they have these masks because they have certain like claustrophobia or types of allergies. So the cappers and these special hooded things need to be reserved for people that like truly need them. And the beard is, much to my joking, is not a part of my religion, so I don't have to have it. It's just a preference, and I've had to shave it before for a previous job. I'll shave it again. I will look very different, but it will happen, and then as soon as all this crap is over, it's coming right back on. Last thing, the hospital. Most hospitals across the nation have initiated a zero visitor policy. There is a lot of Facebook hype about this as well. And not just Facebook, it's social media in general. Nobody's taking anyone's kids just right out of their arms. When you think about it like this, a hospital can't treat a minor legally without parental consent. So if they did take your child, you'd have to be so involved with everything that they would much prefer just to have you there. They're probably going to make you wear all the stuff. You're still going to be there. That's the case at all the Banner facilities that I know of. If there's a minor, now it's limited to one person for the entire stay. One person comes in. You can't alternate. You can't rotate out, like you normally could. Same with like birthing moms. They're allowing one person. It's one person only, and it's always the same person in there to be with the mom. Where it does get difficult is the adult patients. Yeah, we are restricting visitors. I think of a lot of the things that our healthcare professionals are dealing with, this is one of those things that is difficult, is because I feel like I could say, with confidence that nursing does a really good job of being there emotionally for their patients as well. And we're just having to do that so much more now. There's nobody else. These patients are lonely, and we are really busy. And you just can't spend the time that you want to with them like you normally could. It's just busier and busier, and it's going to continue to get busier. So just that general typical time you would like to spend with your patients, you can't. And the whole Facebook or FaceTiming or Skyping with the family and nurses with their private, that's actually happening a lot. They try to make exceptions when somebody's actively passing for this kind of stuff, but sometimes that happens faster than you can ever imagine, and you don't get there in time, or their family doesn't get in time, because in order to let someone in for something like that at our facility, it requires the permission of the CNO. So we have to go through all those channels to get to that person who has to make that decision, and a lot of times that's not fast enough, unfortunately. For individuals, and this not just the one place that I work, but other places are doing this too. This is pretty much a standard now, the no visitation rule, and I haven't heard of any hospitals actually anymore that aren't doing this. From the ICU nurses, we're getting hit pretty hard. I know the ER nurses are getting hit pretty hard, but so is everybody else. When ICU fills up full of patients on ventilators, then the other sick patients that normally would be in ICU are going to like the step-down units or the tele units, and those patients that would normally be there are going to like the medical surgical units. Everything is backing up, and the acuity level for a lot of nurses that aren't in ICU are finding that it's higher. While everybody else is staying at home, we go to work, and that's scary too. We have families. I get nervous to come home. I have a routine now that what I do is I go to work with one pair of shoes. I leave in the bed of the truck, and I swap those out there. I won't wear those shoes in Windy any longer. I wear my clean scrubs out of here to go to work. When I get out of the building, I go to the truck, change everything in the parking lot, and throw those clothes, those scrubs, in a plastic bag that I tie up. I come home, throw that in the washing machine. I will shower and then put on another pair of clothes. So going through like 3 outfits a day. But I don't want to run the risk of touching it. I don't let anybody touch me when I get home. It's weird.
Yeah, he showers immediately when he gets home.
Yeah.
Which brings us to, how are we dealing with this from an RVer perspective, and specifically a boondocking RVer family. Yeah. The last video that we made about the virus, you can check that out up here. It is old news now. It was based on the information that we had at the time that we made the video, just like this one is based on the information that we have currently. Since then, pretty much everything is closed, as it probably is in your town. We are not under a shelter in place here in Arizona.
The governor basically said that he's not going to do it. And we talked about that at work today, and they said that the reason for it is because Arizona is so utterly dependent upon its tourism.
So we're currently not under shelter in place, but there are a lot of businesses closed. I'm no longer showering at the gym.
Yeah, back to that RV shower.
And it's not just the RV shower, and we're having to conserve on water now, so my hair washing, I'll get in and just wash my body but not wash my hair because it takes so much water to wash my hair, so it's pretty gross. Dry shampoo for the win. We did take one little kind of last minute outing where we were still practicing social distancing, which you're going to see that this weekend, but as of the last few days and from now until the end of our contract, which is 3 weeks from now, we are quarantining ourselves here and isolating in the desert. We feel like we're a higher risk family of spreading the disease potentially, so we are not going out and seeing anybody, or I'm not taking the kids to the parks or to skate parks or anything, much to their dismay. People are probably wondering why we're still boondocking, and the short answer is because we would go insane if we weren't. But the longer answer is that even though we have all these extra chores to do with dry camping and boondocking out here, the fact still remains that we are isolated by ourselves. There's a few other campers around here, but they're far away from us, so we're in a safe area that does allow camping, just so you all know. But we're by ourselves, and our kids can go outside and play.
I think kids are the biggest factor.
Yeah.
I can't really speak to what it's like in the parks right now, but I bet I would imagine that the kids would probably make
Yeah.
They make people nervous
There
regularly.
are RV parks across the country that are shutting down. There
Yep.
are state parks that are shutting down in multiple states. We aren't experiencing any of that because we are free camping currently. And we know that we're overextending our stay here, that it's a 14-day max. And so we're hopeful that if somebody does come and ask us to leave or why we're here, that we can explain.
I'm going to answer the door with like a mask. And
I'm hoping to explain that
I'm an Earthian.
on the surface, it seems like we're just living our normal life, like that nothing much is different because we already homeschool and we already are very proficient at boondocking. And the truth is it is a lot harder.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I'm tired.
I know. The truth is it is a lot harder than normal life because I didn't realize how often we really get out. Well, I look back and we pretty much get out every single day.
Yeah.
We have like 1 or 2 days where we like stay in all day long and do nothing but video games. That's our everyday life right now for the kids and I. And it has been hard to be focused, to edit, to do school, to organize. I have all these plans and things that I want to do here in the rig and utilize my time wisely. And it's just, it's harder to do. It's a mental thing.
It'll be interesting to see where this goes for so many different reasons for us. Work right now is interesting, especially trying to get another contract and where and why, that kind of stuff. And crisis rates. I may make a Real Talk Tuesday, like a travel nurse takeover, about the crisis rates and stuff like that for some of the travel nurses out there, and the good and the bad and the sometimes very ugly that come with them. But also just like RVing full time and how that feels right now, because it's kind of not okay.
Yeah, it's really hard right now.
It's kind of hard right now.
Yes, it's harder for us. It's harder for everybody. Everyone's situation is different, and we aren't trying to say
I wasn't trying to make light like ours is worse.
No,
Sorry.
yeah, we're not trying to say like woe is me. We're just sharing with you like what we're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Because it feels good to get it off our chests.
Right. Well, and people asked,
Yeah.
so we want you guys to know.
We actually have two more videos planned, and then after that we have no idea what we're doing. But
we'll let you know.
Sunday is going to be we do have some really cool news for us in the midst of all this craziness. So we're going to share that with you on Sunday. All right, we've rambled so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, we appreciate you.
Guys, hit the thumbs up button. It helps the videos. Leave a comment if you were new and made it to the end. Congratulations. Thank you again. I hope it was informative. Thank you again. We do appreciate all the support, not only for us, but also for your healthcare workers. If you've got them in your friends and family, let them know that you love them and that you appreciate them because they are struggling too. So.
All right. Thank you, and we will see you out there.
We'll see you out there.